Earlier this week, one of my clients was telling me that, Gospel, I feel like we're in a recession. I really do. I feel like we're in a recession. And I'm a bit worried. I looked at her and I was wondering, why are you worried? You have prepared yourself for such a time as this. Why are you worried? It's like, but Gospel, the news, they're saying this. I've been reading some articles. We're in a recession. I feel like we're in a recession. And I don't know what to do. You know what? Many of you definitely do feel the same way. Even those of you that have prepared, you still feel like you're still having that fear in you. You shouldn't be fearful, especially if you have prepared for such a time as this, or for any other time that will be financially troubling. I'll share with you 5 action steps that you need to take, and I also encourage my clients to take. In this time of uncertainty, or in this time of feeling like, oh my goodness, there's going to be a recession, I'll be sharing with you how to mentally and financially prepare for any recession or any financial situation. So guess what? Grab your pen, your notepad, and of course, your glass of water. I'll be sharing with you 5 action steps that I want you to take to weather any financial situation. Here's the first thing to do. Stop watching the news and stop reading all those articles. Stop it. No. You know that the news is there to just hype you up, give you high blood pressure. And interestingly, that client used to have high blood pressure. And they just told me that they went to the doctors after doing all the steps that I shared with them. And the doctors were happy. Their blood pressure reduced. You don't want to have high blood pressure because that leads to other things, other cardiovascular issues. You don't want that. You don't want strokes. You don't want heart attack. I don't want that for you. Stop watching the news. Number 2. Number 2 is look at your emergency fund. If you have an emergency fund, which I encourage you to have an emergency fund. If you don't have one, start an emergency fund. Look at your emergency fund and look to see how much will that last you. And you know what? Maybe now is the time for you to start doing things to top it up some more. Beef up your emergency fund. If perhaps you had 3 months worth of emergency funds saved up, you're still practicing 3 months of emergency fund, you've not yet learned COVID lesson, well, maybe now is the time for you to now beef that up to 6 months. If you are 6 months, beef it up to 9 months. The third thing is for you to review your income source. If you already have a full-time job, now is the time for you to buckle up and start showing up on time at work. Start being the best employee you've ever been in your life. Because in a recession season atmosphere, jobs are lost, and employers tend to give people the axe, those that are not pulling their weight. If you were there sugaring up with your managers, and they're bad mouthing everybody else and being all pally pally and all this, you're gonna be the first one to go, because they'll look at you as a gossip and the person that doesn't even have time to do their work well. Trust me, the corporate world. Yeah, anyway, now is the time for you to start being a good employee. If you have been a good employee and now you're looking to see how you're going to beef up your income, you want to maybe start another side business or something like that, great. Start looking at something that will add to your life, not take away from it and you cannot sleep and it's stressing you out. Nobody has time for that. You're already working 9 to 5, all the hours that God sent, and now because you're trying to beef up your money or get another source of income, doesn't mean that you should be hustling and hustle your way to the hospital admission bed. No, use wisdom. Remember, preparing your mind mentally for a recession involves you taking care of yourself. Think, evaluate yourself, be self-aware and say, are you able to carry an extra burden? And one thing that I want you to know is that when you start a business, it's not going to go all smooth sailing. All those people that keep telling you all those stuff, they're lying to you. Starting your own business requires hard work. You're going to cry, you're going to sweat, you're going to curse. That's okay. It's all part of the fun. The goal is for you to be able to develop a backbone and be able to be resilient. The next one is you need to start looking for ways to be grateful for everything that you have. Look around you and maybe start having your contentment journal, your gratitude journal, and write it down. Write what you're grateful for. If you join the Create Your Exceptional Life mailing list, you will get loads of tips of how to show gratitude, how to be grateful for what you have, contentment, and how to be happy with your life. I'm more into being content with your life, not so much being happy with your life, because happiness is very fleeting. Being content and truly content with what you have really helps you start to see a lot of the positive things in your life. So start writing every day what you're grateful for. Oh, I'm grateful for waking up this morning. Oh, I'm grateful for there's lovely sunshine out there. I'm grateful for my sister calling me up. I'm grateful for the text message I got. I'm grateful for the sky being nice and blue. You know what? I'm grateful that I even have food on the table. I'm grateful for that, the fact that I've got a bed to sleep on. How about that? Be grateful. The fifth one that I want to share with you is for you to now review your expenses. Do you have your U plan? Yes or no? Do you have your U plan? Do you know what is leaving your house? Do you know what you're keeping? Do you know how much things are costing you? I know some of you know already, because each day that you go to the shops, why are you going to the shop every day? Don't know. But each time that you go to the shop, what you bought has gone up. Somebody make it make sense. Yeah, that's inflation right there. Review your expenses. So for example, if you're going to now start looking to buy a house, right? How much can you afford? How much can you afford to be putting towards paying that mortgage off? And if you're going to get a mortgage, I encourage you to look at getting a fixed rate mortgage. If you are going to get a mortgage, get a fixed rate mortgage. You don't want the variable one. Those that are on variable mortgage, they are crying because their mortgage prices has gone up. That's what happens when you have an increase of interest rate increase. You want to have a fixed rate interest at least for 5 years if possible, right? Those are the 5 things I encourage you. I actually added some more, so let's go through it. Stop watching the news. The news is only telling you bad stories, negative stuff. Stop it, right? You need to stop watching the news. Have yourself an emergency fund if you don't have one. If you do have an emergency fund of 3 months, look at beefing it up to maybe 6 months. If you have a 6 month worth of emergency fund, look to beef it up to maybe 9 months. Now you might be saying that, oh, how am I going to do that? Well, now you need to now review your sources of income. If you're working full-time for somebody else, then you have to start being at your best behavior, because guess what? During the time of recession, they fire people. People get let go of. So you want to be able to show up confident at work, happy, cheerful, do your work, not be there gossiping and talking and acting like you're busy, but you're not. You're there talking and doing jack all nothing. Nobody likes that. I definitely don't like that. When you go to work and do your work and go home, right? The fourth one is look to be grateful. Start being grateful for everything you have. Contentment is a good thing. Being positive about your life is a good thing. It boosts your immune system when you're looking for things that are grateful and things that are positive. Watching the news doesn't. It gives you high blood pressure. You don't want that. And the final one is for you to review your expenses. What is your U plan? What is your U plan? Do you have a plan, a 1 year plan, a 5 year plan, a 10 year plan? Do you have a plan for your groceries? Do you have a plan how much you're going to spend on clothes, on food, on bills? Do you have a budget? Look at your budget, review your budget. Are there places where you can cut, eliminate stuff? Look at that. And if you're going to be having a mortgage, look to getting a fixed rate mortgage if you're going to go down that route. If you're like, gospel, I'm so broke, it's such a joke, I need to take out a loan. Fixed interest loans is the one you need to go for, because everything is going to go up. Preparing yourself mentally for any financial situation involves you being grateful with what you have. Practice the habit of being grateful every single day. I do something every Monday. When you go and get your copy of the Create Your Exceptional Lifestyle, if you put your comment in the comment section, send me Create Your Exceptional Lifestyle, I'll send you the link for you to join the mailing list, and there you will get every Monday we do something called Monday Morning One Word for the Week, a word that you can focus on every single day of that week to keep you focused and on purpose to achieving your goals and dreams. Being grateful is one way to make you be in a positive mindset. Financially, you need to have a U plan. You need to have your emergency fund in place. And you know what? If you've got debt, start looking for ways to crush your debt, disintegrate your debt. Debt is not your friend. No, it's not. There's no such thing as good debt or bad debt. That's another live right there. I'm not going to go into. But these are the 5 action steps I want you to take. Stop listening to the news. Stop it. It's going to give you high blood pressure. You don't want that. Right? You need to have your emergency fund. A starter emergency fund. I teach the 4-step plan. You have your starter emergency fund there. 2K. That's your starter emergency fund. The next one is review your sources of income. In time of recession, multiple streams of income, having multiple streams of income is golden. The last recession was when I set up the foundation of all my income sources. That was the beginning. Then I had 5 active sources of income. Yes, I say active because there are 3 different types of sources of income. Active, automated, and pseudo-automated sources of income. Review your source of income. If now you don't have any source of income, you only have one source of income, look to see how you can build up your source of, because trust me, there will be another recession. There will be another financial catastrophe. It's going to happen. The fourth one is show more gratitude. Be more grateful for your life and be content with your life. And the final one is for you to review your expenses, your U plan. Review that. If you don't have a budget, if you don't have your U plan, I encourage you to schedule a 15 minutes complimentary consultation with me where we will talk about your life and how you can start leading an exceptional lifestyle. Remember, you're unique. There's only one you out here. Go out there and shine and be your own unique self. Because let me tell you something. There's somebody out there waiting to listen to you, waiting to hear what you've got to say, because you know what? The way you say it, how you say it, would just gel with them. And you could be that person to get them to the next level of their life. Isn't that wonderful? I'm rooting for you, and I know you can do much more than you currently are. Start creating your exceptional lifestyle. Until next time, to your ongoing success. Ciao.